Hi, and welcome to another episode of my bizarre method of self-harm, playing really shitty games. Today I'm going to be looking at a game made for this thing, the ZX Spectrum. Now, game development was still quite young when this bad boy was released, which means it had the massive potential to be a hotbed of bobbins. Yes, back before quality control was a thing in gaming, it wouldn't be unusual for you to accidentally pick up a game that was sheer bobbins, and there you go, that's your whole weekend ruined. Sorry. Don't get me wrong, there are so many good games on the ZX Spectrum, and I personally do still find the graphical capabilities of the computer very charming. But the ZX Spectrum's heyday was the age of the bedroom coder. Kids and young adults who could use the ZX Spectrum's basic language, coding language if you like, I'm not being bitchy, and they could make their own games. And if they were confident enough, they could send them to publishing companies, and that company might send them like 50 quid and then sell it. Here in the UK, we got some really good games from that setup. We also had some publishers who really didn't care about things like, whether or not the game was decent. It is mind-boggling the amount of games that appear to have been flung onto a tape without anyone going, hang on a minute, this is total shit, and maybe we shouldn't try and charge people for it. One such game is Butterfly. I only know about this one because Stuart Ashton told me about it, and I refuse to believe that it was as crap as he was making it out to be. That is until I played it. UK publishing company Pulsonic were responsible for putting this game to market. The company had healthy handfuls of other games on their books, and not necessarily just for the ZX Spectrum. They published a couple for the VIC-22, for example. Some are alright, some are crap. Pulsonic went ahead and published Butterfly in 1984, and it's a game where you're a spider catching butterflies. Of course, there's nothing wrong with video games that have a simple premise. Even today, some of the most popular video games ever are some of the most basic. Hello Tetris, Pac-Man, and of course the graphical and memory capabilities of the ZX Spectrum did have restrictions. So I'm not about to take the piss out of a game where you're a spider catching butterflies. I am going to take the piss out of the publishing company that thought, oh, you know what, let's sell this to people. Although now I think of it, wouldn't it make more sense for the spider to be catching flies? I'm thinking too hard about this, I'm just going to play it. This game was made by one Hugh Davis, and I couldn't find any info about the guy, but I'm going to assume he was a child when he made this, or at least like a teenager. So I'm not going to take the piss out of him. When I take the piss here, I'm doing it to the company that thought, oh, you know what, this is exactly the kind of thing we want kids to spend their pocket money on, don't even care if they get sad when they realise they should have just bought a massive bar of chocolate instead, whatever. Wow, look at that title screen. Oh, my eyes hurt. That colour clash is something that only the ZX Spectrum could do so horrifyingly. Also, what is that thing? Is that a fingerprint? A cross-section of a tree? A drawing of my brain after seeing my bank balance? None of those things are related to butterflies, unless you count the moths that flap out whenever I open my wallet. Instructions? Nah, I don't think I need them for a game about catching butterflies. Let's just jump right in. What is going on here? Oh, I see, it's a very crudely drawn window. I thought initially I was looking at some sort of bizarre sports court, but yeah, I can see this is a window with two curtains on either side. Oh, look at the little guy you play as! Oh, look at that adorable little spider guy! I take it all back. This adorable little spider makes up for the fact that the rest of the game looks like it does. That is honestly one of the cutest characters I've ever seen in a ZX Spectrum game. Honestly, if the spiders that get in my house looked more like that, I probably wouldn't have such a massive phobia of them. How do you bastards keep getting in? I love how worried and traumatised he looks at the same time. That's a lot of emotion just in those few pixels. And his front four legs sticking out like that, oh my god, that's the cutest thing. I was gonna say it looks like a drawing a child drew on the wall of a hallway, but like I said, it probably is literally a child's drawing. Hey, baby Pac-Man, you like to draw stuff like this, don't you? Stop drawing on my wall, you little shit! Yeah, that constant flashing is going to get annoying, isn't it? I think that's because the spider and the butterflies can't all be on the screen at the same time, so they flash alternately. I don't know specifically why that is, but I'm sure someone more technically minded in the comments can tell us. So, wait, what's going on here? How is the spider moving along the glass of the window? Can spiders do that? Unless he's made a web, but there doesn't seem to be one anywhere. I get this is a design choice to make the game make sense, but it doesn't make sense. What also doesn't make sense is these bow ties are meant to be butterflies. I did look up whether spiders bother eating butterflies, because I've never seen one caught in a web, and I learned that yes, on the whole, spiders will eat butterflies. They eat them alive, actually, which is grim as hell. This little dude, this cute, adorable little thing eats butterflies alive? Really? I suppose just because something's cute doesn't mean it's not a cold-blooded killer. I mean, look at cats. Why aren't there any sounds at all? I just put my headphones on. Bloody hell, that is an awful sound to use when picking up something as delicate as a sodding butterfly. Why does it need to be something so loud and low? It's like a buzzer on an obnoxious game show, and it happens every time you catch a butterfly. If you're playing this on an emulator, you do not want to be wearing headphones. How do I know that? Because I was wearing headphones and now I can't hear anything, thank you very much. Also, catching the butterflies is a mission. Some of them flap about in one area, and those ones are easy enough to get, but then you've got ones that go on a little jaunt, and the problem is, the spider is about as fast as they are. The only way you can get those ones is to try and cut them off, but they move at random, so that's when this becomes luck rather than skill. Come here. Come here! I can't believe I'm getting pissed off at not being able to catch a butterfly. Also, now and again, the spider will just pass through a butterfly without picking it up. Why? Screw you. That's why. Screw you. Well, that was tiring. Let's have a nice sit down on the windowsill. The windowsill kills him? What? No, okay. Fine, yeah. Well, that's it really. You just go around and catch butterflies. It doesn't show you a score or anything like that, so this feels especially mindless. I think I'm done here. Oh, what is that? What is that? What the shit is that thing? What is that? Hello, yes, police. Come quickly. No time to explain, just... Where did that thing come from? What is it? Is it a pink Pac-Man with methy eyes? What's it doing here on a window pane? What circle of hell did this thing roll up from? Look at the way it so casually eats the spider with a dead-eyed stare. That's the food chain, everyone. It goes butterfly, eaten by spider, eaten by a dangerously sunburned Pac-Man. No, not Pac-Man. The weird cousin of Pac-Man that no one talks about because he sits at windows eating spiders like a neglected stepchild in a fairy tale. That thing is the only example of animation in the actual game, though. The spider and butterflies have no animation at all, but this animation is... it's not very good. The thing doesn't even close its mouth, it just inhales the spider like a tapioca ball from boba tea. And Pac-Man's weird cousin just teleports up out of nowhere and gets straight to munching. No wonder he doesn't get invited to the family gatherings anymore. I wouldn't like it if my creepy cousin could teleport. Alright, as I have no idea what's going on here, I'm gonna go back and look at the instructions. Okay, apparently the reason the windowsill fries our spider alive is that there's a live wire on it. Who leaves live wires on their windowsill? Is this an anti-burglary device, or is this poor person renting from the world's dodgiest landlord? This game makes me ask so many questions. Oh, and we can find out what that pink monster thing is as well. It's the purple spider eater, apparently, and it's hiding in the curtains. Oh, you know, those purple spider eaters, hiding curtains. Jesus! Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for that. Oh, shit. The thing is, the instructions say watch out for the purple spider eater, but once that thing rocks up, you can't get away from it. It's game over. Apparently it's also game over if the spider eats anything less than 12 butterflies a minute, which is a lot, actually. And if he doesn't manage to stuff his face with butterflies, that's when Pac-Man's weird cousin friggin' Rift walks in and inhales him. Also, that prick does hang out in the curtains and will attack if the spider goes too close to them before the time is up as well. I did try very hard to get those 12 butterflies, but the best I could manage was 10. It's just not a fair game. There's so few butterflies for the amount of space you have to cover, and the spider just doesn't move quick enough. It's really frustrating, and I don't like how I have to keep track of how many butterflies I ate myself. Not having a counter or a timer makes my anxiety go into overdrive, because I just don't know when that pink bastard is just going to roll up. And every time it does roll up, it scares the hell out of me. I didn't want to show you the box art because I didn't want to spoil the surprise of what is probably video gaming's most dickhead enemy, but now I look at it properly, I'm not sure it would have spoiled anything. Without context, this just looks like a random mass of shapes. I don't think even if you'd seen the box at first, you could have possibly predicted the absolute scene of horror we'd be subjected to thanks to that friggin' pink thing. This game would probably have been about $1.99 at the time. Adjusted for inflation, that's, I don't know, £8. Even without the cost of living crisis to take into consideration, this game is not worth £8. Didn't anyone at Pulsonic check the games before they started just friggin' lobbing them out there? Did they even play them? How could any company look at this game and go, £8 please mate, come on. I am gutted for any 80s kid that spent their pocket money on this game. They'll be grown adults by now and I bet they're still haunted by the memory. Well, there's another crappy ZX Spectrum game. No, I will not pay for your therapy. Please don't sue me. No, seriously, please. I can't afford to eat. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe and all of that nonsense. Oh, hey, little guy. Get off! I'm not for munching.